Is there a like tolerable video game character you would name your kid after?
Oh,
because
That's
like
a
I
good
said,
question.
like I've got now, friends and family that have started naming their children like after, say, comic book characters or like movie characters.
Yeah.
Like this is an example, but there was a string of what was the Callista? The Khaleesi. All these girls.
Oh
named
my God,
Khaleesi.
that was a thing.
That was
wasn't
a big thing,
Isn't that
right?
crazy?
You know what's funny though is
Pop
like
culture
I
has
see
that.
that in the wild sometimes because my kids are the same age of. So there
But
are
like,
you're seeing Khaleesi's.
There was Lynn had a class with a Khaleesi.
Yeah,
the gymnastics
Oh
class.
my God.
Gymnastics a long time ago.
That just makes it 10 times funnier.
That's so fucking good.
that character went off the deep end.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to name anyone after that.
No.
The show wasn't even over, and you name your kid after.
What could she have done? She
dude,
could have
that
committed heinous acts.
She
I know.
did.
That's
She did?
The symptom.
I didn't
Yes.
see it.
Oh,
that
that's
that
great.
is a
That is
that
so
was a
good.
symptom of a terrible thing that was happening at that time. I remember in like 2012 or 2013 asking somebody, all right, what's your favorite show of all time? And they were like, oh, Game of Thrones. And I'm like, aren't they just starting season 2 right now? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And I'm like, I think it matters, and I would wait.
Yeah, wait.
And there we are, everybody.
You were right.
Yep.
But yeah, what a name?
A name from a game
'cause
or movie or something.
Sonic the Child is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And your line delivery is so fucking good. But like Ezio, I could see someone actually doing that. Like, yeah, we're Italian. I love, Assassin's Creed. I could see Ezio
at least
being real.
Ezio's a name.
It really is.
That
That's
actually
right,
is
right.
a
Well, that's the thing is like, Zelda
Zelda's
is a
a
name.
thing that happened.
Yeah.
Well,
that is a name that existed in the world before this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
1920s name.
Zelda is
it's
a
an
name.
old
it's like
name.
Mildred. It's like an old lady name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Zelda
like that-
Rubinstein from Poltergeist and stuff.
That's right. Her name was Zelda.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Go
I-
towards the
I
light.
do think that Zelda Fitzgerald. I think that I don't because
Strife.
I've got I have kids with different
Cloud
names.
Chatfield.
My kids' names are not the normal
yeah.
names.
You could get away with naming your kid Tifa, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that might be a little weird. Like, you named your daughter Tifa.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's all weird.
To me,
Yeah.
it
It's
all
all weird.
depends.
It's
It
all
all
weird,
depends because
right?
I knew someone who had so much Star Wars shit everywhere,
Mm.
and then they named their kid like
Leia.
no, like it was like it was like I don't.
See-
Oh, it was like a
C-3PO.
character creator name? It was like Jabin Star?
No, it was like Anakin something.
Yeah.
and it was like oh man, like that was like too much.
the kid's going to hate
But
it.
you name a kid Luke. Oh, and
That's
it
his
happened to be
name.
from that. Well, okay,
That's cool.
I'm not
I'd
gonna
say-
think
I mean,
about
my
it.
brother, I'm pretty sure, was named from that.
But that's the thing. You can name it, but just don't say it. Like, don't go, oh, I named him Luke because of
After-
Star Wars.
True.
I
keep
think
keep it quiet.
Yeah, keep it quiet.
I think
You're
it's
right.
even if you don't, I think you could get away with it if it's not like, oh, I've got a planned naming scheme
Yeah.
for all my kids,
Dude.
because I'm a big Super Sentai fan, so I'm gonna name my kids
Shider.
Gokaiger, Shider, this that. You could. It's just everything in balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everything in
sure.
balance. That's
I will
all I feel.
say, and I don't think I've said this on the podcast before, but my parents, I don't know, I'm assuming they were joking, but I was 6 at the time.
Mhm.
So when
Yeah.
my mom was pregnant with my sister, they said, if it's a boy, we're going to name him Picard. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, because you're Sean. That's close to Jean. So it'll be Sean Luke Picard. And I was like, this
What?
can't be real.
Oh.
3 kids are the
And I
name.
remember being a kid being like,
No.
I don't think so. I think they were fucking with me. I
Yeah.
never got clarification
God.
on that.
You should
but
ask him to see if that was.
they probably don't even remember,
Good thing
honestly, that
Krista
shit.
wasn't a boy.
Right? Because I would find out the hard way
Picard,
that
yeah.
if that really was the
Picard.
case, like Sean Luke
Picard
Picard,
Chatfield.
that's terrible.
When I was a kid, I always thought if I had a son, I wanted to name him Cecil.
Okay.
Because that was the guy
Final Fantasy,
the guy in Final Fantasy IV starts like bad but like learns to be good, and I always thought that was a powerful story, and I thought that's obscure enough that I know what it is but no one else does.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like another weird
Like a lion.
white people name, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Cecil-
I'm gonna name him Quest.
Cecil
I'm gonna
is a
him
name. It
Cecil.
just hasn't been used in a long time.
yeah.
Which
I
those,
guess you still could do it.
those names come back. Like there's a lot of girls named June now, which
Oh, there's
was
a-
kind of an
yeah.
old lady
There's a
name
lot.
for a while, but I
Yeah.
think that's coming back.
I'm-
Esther's coming
Yep.
back.
Yeah, I mean, my mom's name is Nancy, and that went away, but I'm starting to see that come around.
You know what?
You know what's gone?
Jason.
And Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Karen is like
Karen
that's
is eradicated.
gone.
That's gone.
No
Yeah,
one
that's
is
it.
naming their kid Karen.
No,
I feel like the names like Justin. There's no kid Justin out there anymore, right? Like that's
Justin.
not a thing.
Justin.
I don't. Is it?
I don't
know.
think
feel
so.
like-
I
don't
feel like
know.
I still know a lot of
I've
Justins.
been around many kids in many classes, and I don't think I've heard one Justin.
No more Justin.
I always love when the Twitch chat holds like there's a bot on Twitch that holds offensive terms like do you want to allow this person to keep talking in the chat, and they just held someone because this person just said Gaylord.
That was a very
that was a name.
That was
There
Very
was a
interesting
Gaylord in our
name.
high school.
I
Didn't
only
want
I
that
only
name.
hear names when I'm at Disneyland and like a kid's in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come
Me
here.
too.
And I hear like Bryler, get over here.
Yeah.
Stuff
The
like that.
worst I think of all time is still. I remember having that talk with you. It was you, me, and Brian
Yep.
at Disneyland, hearing Magpie.
What?
Magpie, get back here right now.
No way.
It's a little
Magpie.
boy named Magpie.
That's not real.
dude.
What kind of fucking Lost Boys shit is that?
You know what though?
Magpie.
Disneyland- Hey, at Disneyland, you get people on vacation from like the South.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think they lived here.
Maybe
I think
Magpie
they were
was-
LA people.
Yeah.
from Oklahoma or something.
Magpie.
That's
Yeah,
a
Magpie.
wild one, dude.
Magpie, get here now.
That
Don't ruin this for me.
that is there are some names that
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do the video game character. I don't
don't
think
know.
there's an appropriate one.
But you
unless-
can
Snake.
if it's very obscure. I know. Solidus.
Solid Snake. Come
Solidus.
here.
I honestly feel
Hey,
like that is not
right
Hey,
in.
People would
Solidus,
do that.
I would actually give you props. You name your kid Solidus, I'd be like, all right, you did it. You did it. Yeah, you did it.
Solidus, get over here.
Like let's go go Drebin.
What do you want for
Drebin.
dinner, little Drebin?
Be like, what do you want for dinner? Oh, chicky nuggies? Yeah, well, I'll make them. And don't forget, I have you. Little MGS4 humor.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever appropriate unless it's like you're saying, like it's a real name, like Vincent
Yeah.
or Cecil, and you're gonna be like, okay, I like Final
It's a
Fantasy.
good
a
name.
lot,
It's a good name
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah,
but
if
no
it-
one's gonna know that.
If it's a good name regardless, and it's like Joel and Ellie are normal names.
Yeah,
But and you can name that, and if you don't say anything, then it's
Then
just a
no one
normal
knows.
name.
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
can
yeah.
always go like, yeah, I love those games.
But-
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, again, I just feel like everything in balance. If it happens to be something,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's like, again, you have 4 kids named after all Autobots.
Yeah.
Like, okay, chill out. You know,
Well, that
that's kinda how I
character-
feel.
Jenny, her favorite, she loves the book Tom Sawyer, and that's where we got the name Sawyer. But then when she pitched that to me, I was like, well, I love Lost, so I'm happy. That's fine with me, you know.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
double.
yeah.
But that wasn't the reason for it. But also, like, it didn't hurt.
I'm curious who out there, what's the worst name you've heard in terms of, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you
that
know,
somebody's named their child.
yeah,
Oh,
like yuppie
yeah.
names for
I-
kids. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm going to name my kid Great.
I
Well, the
have-
I think
celebrity
that's the one
shit.
that is a real one that I
I have
have.
one.
Great.
yeah,
You're naming your kid
Do you,
Great.
can
What if
you
he
say
sucks?
it? Will you get in trouble?
I don't know
Are
if
you
I
too
even
far
know this
removed?
person. I just heard this through the grapevine
Mm.
that somebody named their child Slain,
Slain.
Demon
oh,
Slain.
that's terrible.
and I'm like, ugh.
Slain.
Even Slate sounds like a caveman.
I'll just say every one of Nick Cannon's kids has the worst fucking name
Oh, really?
I've ever heard.
All right. I don't know any of the names. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
like powerful millionaire princess,
Oh.
deja vu, and
Oh,
like
no.
I would look it up right now, but I don't want to make fun of literal children on the internet.
Yeah.
But I'll make fun of their dad. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey have named their kids like the worst fucking names I've ever heard.
I am a firm believer that all these weird names you see celebrities name their kids
Yeah.
are fake because they don't want their real names to be out.
Oh, like
Ah.
Apple,
So they'll just make up
Yeah, yeah.
these
Apple.
weird names.
Surrey.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
when they go to school and stuff, they'll their name they basically are born with a stage name.
Yeah.
I think that's the case.
Oh, that's
Kevin, I've never
interesting.
once
These
considered that.
like
Kevin, yeah,
all these
you're
people that are like,
smart.
oh, this name is a bunch of letters and numbers. I think it's totally fake. That's a stage name, and they have a real name that they do not tell anybody.
I thought Gwyneth Paltrow was just fucking cuckoo for coconuts.
I
but-
mean, She
is.
She could.
She made vagina scented candle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But Grimes is actually smart now, giving her child anonymity.
I don't think that is their real name whatsoever. I think that is just for the tabloids.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay, gotcha.
And
Okay.
and to keep their
That's
privacy
not, you know what,
to
Kevin?
themselves
That's
and-
not a bad
because
conspiracy
what kid
theory.
wants to be like their name made fun of immediately? Like, well, it is, but like they given a real name.
Trump's
And-
kid's got a rotten first name too. Baron's pretty fucking bad,
That's a
right?
bad name.
That's a
It just sounds like a villain.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
villainous from the go.
It does.
Baron.
Yeah.
You'll never
Now-
cross the Baron.
The worst name I've seen in the wild. There was a kid that went to like a thing that we went to with a name. I don't even know if I should. I felt bad even saying it because I feel like I'm making fun of a kid.
It's a kid. Yeah. They don't think. Oh, sorry.
Kids
They,
don't
Kevin
care.
just broke my phone.
I did. That's second one in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, what were you
What
saying?
were you gonna say?
Well, I don't want to. Like, do I say it? Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel bad.
Are they gonna watch this?
Probably not. And I don't know these. I never met the parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
so these are strangers. Let
Yeah.
it fly.
Well, the kid's name was literally Skywalker. That was the first name.
It's kind of cringe.
First name Skywalker.
First name was
Skywalker.
You might be
Skywalker.
able to get away with a middle name.
Yeah.
That's rough as a first
That
name.
was the first name, and I was surprised.
Whenever you do that, you have to give a middle name that they can like choose if they want to go by later.
Go by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd only be cool if like the middle name was Sky and the last name was Walker. So it was like Luke Sky Walker.
Yeah, now it's cool.
Now it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
No, never mind. I
They
take
said in
it
the
back.
chat like
I
you
take it
could
back.
call the kid Sky. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
that's a nickname.
fine.
Sky Guy.
Sky Guy.
Just like what's her name?
Yeah, you know, like middle names or whatever, they could be anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Penn Gillette's daughter is Moxie Crime Fighter Gillette.
See, that's kind of fucked
No.
up.
Crime fighter.
Yeah,
But
but it's a
Moxie-
middle name, so you just don't
Moxie.
reveal it.
He
Yeah.
named her Moxie.
There's
That's
I've seen several
I've-
Moxies in this
she's
world.
got Moxie. I don't know. That's a
That's an old name. I liked
That's an old name, yeah. it's an
I
old name.
liked the guy in Jackass going by Jasper. I was like,
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah. Jasper's a cool name.
Jasper's
Jasper
a
was
cool
the
name.
one that you'd only hear in old people for a long time. So I like that coming back around.
I do think that a lot of those old school names are coming back.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Karen, you said was off the
Yeah,
block,
Karen's
but
gone.
Carol has been coming back. I think.
Carol?
Okay.
That for a minute you only knew 80-year-olds with that name, but I think that's coming back around.
I also think
I
it's
think.
kind of a thing too where it's like maybe a grandparent dies and then
Oh, they name them after-
grandkids
Yeah.
name
Totally.
their kid after the grandparent.
Mhm.
That's
you
kind of
know
how this
what?
happens.
There's not a lot of young boys walking around called Larry.
no.
That was
Not that
my
I know.
grandfather's name, and
Yeah.
that's kind of a cool
Or-
one. They should bring back Larry.
Was Larry his name or was it like something else?
No, it
Like,
was Larry. It
was
wasn't
short-
Lawrence or anything.
Lawrence,
It was
yeah.
Larry.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Well, enough about names.
yeah, fucking trolling with names here.
Let us know. Podcast question of the week. Let us know the worst name of a kid you heard.
Or,
For me,
or
it was always-
anybody.
We always made fun of Tanner in videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it became-
that's always the name.
It became so popular. I feel like now the name you make fun of is like Aiden. Like there's a lot of shit that Aiden's get.
I'm sticking with Tanner.
yeah, Tanner is
Yeah.
a classic.
Tanner? Okay.
I always Tanner for me was just the shitty kid in every class I was in.
Mhm.
It was just always, of course, you're Tanner.
the chat is right there
It was
with you
always
too.
Tanner. Okay, who just took a shit in the corner of the room? Oh, Tanner.
Also, like,
It was
what's
always Tanner.
a name that's fun to yell at? Like Tanner.
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 That's a funny. It sounds funny.
I still think one of my career highlights of my life was when Nintendo streamed their 2015 E3 promotional video, or it was promoting the Nintendo World Championships that were happening,
Yeah.
and people watching it, and I'm watching the stream, and people in the Nintendo chat are going, "Feels like Mega64 like filmed this or something. Did they? Does anyone know?" And then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna bring in this kid. Come in here, Tanner."
Yeah.
All right, they did it. They did it. Yep, that's them. Yep. I was
They
like
knew.
cheering in the chat.
They do.
Oh man, that made me so happy.